Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Majority Leader. The Bills and Index Service has distributed electronic copies of the General Summary of House Bill number 4058 as amended via email to the offices of the Senators. With the consent of the body, I move that the General Summary be accepted as the amendments to House Bill number 4058 and accordingly that we close the period of amendments on the measure using the said General Summary as our basis. The complete details, including the line-by-line amendments and all pertinent attachments, will be made available on Saturday, December 6, prior to the approval on third reading of the fiscal year 2026 General Appropriations Bill. I so move, Mr. President.
Any objections? Senator, the Minority Leader, Senator Alan Cayetano. Sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and dear colleagues. Thank you for being here today. Question lang po, ano po yung motion na December 6? May I clarify lang, Mr. President, what the motion is?
Mr. President, the motion... sorry, Mr. President, let me just...
Before we make a motion, may we know what the motion is?
The motion that the General Summary be accepted as the amendments to House Bill number 4056, Mr. President. 4058.
Before that, Mr. President, just because our clean copy is actually a summary, but the summary we were expecting ay kasama yung programs, hindi lang numbers. May we ask some questions and be clarified before that? Or if we pass that motion, can we still make amendments? What's the preference, Mr. President? Should we ask first or pass this motion?
Well, Mr. President, we can receive questions, Mr. President.
Yeah. So if that's the case, Mr. President, can I ask some clarificatory questions?
Yes, you may. Go ahead. There is a pending motion, so you can avail of the period of interpellation on that particular motion.
Let me start with the premise. The premise is that it's extraordinary times through a series of events, both natural and supernatural, na expose ang massive graft and corruption basically in flood control, but we are all aware that it happens in different departments and even sa collection pa lang ng taxes, no? Ang highlight ngayon, thank you also to Senator JV and Senator Erwin yung sa BIR, no? So given that, we have an extraordinary opportunity for a game changer budget. That's premise number one. Premise number two, may vision. And yung budget ang popondo sa plano para ma-attain ang vision, no? So for example, Mr. President, in all our interpellations, people agreed on three things. Masyadong nagsisiksikan sa highly urbanized. Nag-agree po tayo na ang baha, traffic, etc. ay lalong sasama kung panay sa highly urbanized. Nag-agree din po lahat na ang trend ay mas mabuti kaso sa padagdag lang ng padagdag ng highways, especially in Calabarzon, Metro Manila, and Region 3, while we neglect the rest of the country. So, question, did we put funding, 5-10 billion for the Mindanao Railway?
What assistance? Well, Mr. President,
Mr. President, yes, with the permission of our Minority Floor Leader
and
Majority
Leader.
Sponsor, maybe we should act on the motion first, and after the motion is acted upon and voted upon, the good Minority Floor Leader could ask the questions. If it's all right with the Minority Floor Leader?
Yes, whatever the pleasure of the majority. For as long as, Mr. President, if there are certain changes acceptable to the chairman, we can still make it.
Yes.
Yes, we're not approving it on
Yes.
with this motion. We're not approving anything on second reading.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I would like to further continue with the motion, Mr. President, if we can.
All right. What we are facing now in the motion is for us to make this the basis.
Yes,
The
Mr.
second
President.
reading. All right. Any objection? Hearing none. Motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, we did not
Yeah, you may
object
continue,
at this time because the chairman informed us that tumatagal yung line by line. But with your patience, we just want to ask a few questions and see whether acceptable na ito, because we did pass concurrent resolution number 4 na kung saan lahat tayo nagsabi na dapat totally transparent. So sa aking pagkaintindi, pag sinabing transparent, pag nakita ng media at ng ating mga kababayan itong committee report, alam nila kung anong laman at hindi. Having said that, between complete transparency and a reenacted budget, parehong may tama sa ating bansa. And to be fair to the chairman, he has promised us that Saturday, lalabas yung line by line, and before the third reading nandun.
Yes.
But please understand that hindi kami komportableng bumoto today based on this if we're not able to clarify kung ano talaga yung mga laman. But I'd like to put on record that even informally, meaning not here, whether it's in the lounge, in my office, in his office, Senator Win has been totally transparent of what are the changes and what are the committee report. Wala tayong tanong doon, no? Even sa majority, we had a instant caucus yesterday for some tricky issues, and I appreciate the conversation. But in the spirit of true transparency, and because I am inspired today, because Senator Lito Lapid is focused and intently listening to me. So when that happens, I would like to really do my best. Thank you, Senator Lapid, for being here today and focusing on that. Actually, ang questions ko, Senator Lapid, nasa Region 3 din. So, Mr. Chairman, 2 questions lang sa trains. Yung Mindanao Railway, but because I'm reminded, because Senator Lapid is here, naglagay din ba tayo ng pondo sa Clark Subic? Because ang sinabi ng DOTR,
2026.
hinalo pa nila yung Clark Subic train sa Central Luzon papuntang Southern Luzon. Eh kung hihintayin mo pa yon, tatagal pa ng husto. But in those 2 instances, they agreed that if we put a little bit of money, they can start the program, especially sa Mindanao Railway, because kompleto na yon. Nagka-problema lang sa funding with the Chinese concessional loans, no?
Doon sa information ho namin during the budget briefing and also yung mga briefings before, apparently nag-withdraw ang DOTR doon sa Chinese ODA because of delay, and also wala nang interest for both parties to pursue it. But in the 2025 budget, under the unprogrammed funds, meron silang inallocate a program. Under the program funds, may na-allocate na 200 million pesos. And ito yung ginagamit nila for preliminary works. In fact, may nakita ko sa news na meron na silang mga parcellary, surveying, so ginagamit nila ito. For 2026, wala po dahil walang loan na request.
Yes, but Mr. President, that's why we have interpellations, di ba? So ang hindi naging proactive, ni hindi naging reactive ang DOTR doon. Parang sa kanila, hintayin natin yung loans. Ballpark lang, magkano ang total cost ng subway sa Metro Manila?
Okay. Sorry, may dagdag lang po ako, Minority Leader. Sa 2026, merong 1 billion for the Mindanao Railway under GOP counterpart. Ang wala lang doon yung loan. So they're expecting hopefully na magkaroon ng loan in the next few.
I'll not belabor the point, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, but just to give you a apples to apples comparison, magkano po in general yung ballpark figure ng ating Metro Manila subway? It's about 500 billion ba?
Alam ko mga ano ho yan, mga, if my memory serves me correctly, mga 400 $400 billion.
So-
$400 billion. Sorry, $4 billion.
$4 billion.
Yeah.
So mga 200 billion
Billion pesos.
pesos.
Yeah,
Okay.
more or less. Mga
Sa phase 1 ng Mindanao Railway, it's 100B. And they said that if they get 10B, they can hit the ground running. So what is 10B compared to the 6.7 trillion at meron tayong unprogrammed na 170. So if you want, lagyan natin ng 5B sa program, 5B sa unprogram, although we're against the unprogram. But my point is, Mr. President, hanggang kailan maghihintay yung mga taga Mindanao na alam naman natin pag sinabi mong next year, loan pa lang yon, that's another 2-3 years, then another 2-3 years bago ma-implement. But they said because nga nag-pull out lang yung financing,
Chinese funding.
everything is ready. And even if they get funding from whether the Japanese or the Koreans, the Australians, wherever, no? May 25% counterpart pa rin naman, which is 25 billion. So they did not put any, there's no hesitation in their part. Tinanong ko diretso, kung bibigyan namin kayo ng 10 to 25, kaya nyo na ba simulan? Yes. So in fact, I would even say, why doesn't the Maharlika Fund invest there? O why don't we package it sa ibang mga oligarchs natin na kung kukuha kayo ng mga highway na gagawin yung tollway, pero eto naman, ano yun rin. But ang point, Mr. President, this is such a great opportunity. Nalagyan natin ng 5-10 billion. Let's not let this opportunity go away. Yesterday, we were speaking about 50 billion. We were talking about certain pricing.
1 billion.
So meron tayong leeway doon, eh, di ba? So may I appeal to the chair that whether it's 5 sa unprogram, 5 sa program, let's show Mindanao na despite the politics that is going on, hindi sila casualty sa politics. Di
Ako
ba?
ay support po yung Mindanao Railway dahil alam po natin na ang Mindanao is our food basket. Diyan po talaga nanggagaling marami sa ating mga produce at ang weather ho nila relatively smooth throughout the year. Pero ang transportation logistics, mahal rin eh kung hindi ho gagawin yung ating railway system. So magandang idea ho yan.
I'm not
Minority
that
Leader.
sure, Mr. President, about yung pagtaas ng population sa home city mo. No? But kaming magkatabi, Muntinlupa at saka Taguig, ano kami, two of the highest in Metro Manila, and I think in the country. And basically, lumilipat is from Central Luzon, from Bicol,
Yeah, tama
from
po kayo.
Visayas, Mindanao. Kasi nga, pag nakitang may trabaho, may libre ang edukasyon, hinahatid sa bahay yung mga gamot, di ba, lumilipat dito. But you know, if we start building the railway, I'm 100% sure yung ating mga mall owners, yung mga land developers, will start their development kung saan yung mga stasyon ng tren. Eh. So it will be such a good sign in the midterm. No, I'm a little bit cautious kasi of administration starting something pag last year na nila. For many reasons. I mean, sa first year ng Marcos administration, the former DOTR secretary, parang biglang delay yung sa subway sa Metro Manila, eh, di ba? So from having stations opened in 2026, naging 2027, naging 2028. Pag hindi mo administrasyon ang ginawa, ang daling ituro dun sa past, eh, no? So if they actually started in 2026, imagine you have the whole 2026, the whole 2027, and it will really be a good sign that despite, you know, some how do I put it diplomatically, animosity between the president and the vice president, painful discussions of impeachment between the House of Representatives and the Senate as an impeachment court, hindi casualty ang Mindanao because we will still put that funding. And 10 billion is basically the budget of 2 or 3 congressional districts, Mr. Chairman. So may I earnestly push that we include that in the amendments today. Kahit 5-10 billion, kahit saan program yung...
We'll confer and consult with His Honor kung saan magiging accounts doon. But I support that. Maganda ho talaga Mindanao Railway.
Senator Villanueva was whispering to me that there's only 12 senators here, but I was informed my sister is here, so there's 13 already. So we can decide. The second question also is It's music to the ears of our majority leader that meron tayong quorum. So the second one, I do not know if fully capable na ang DOTR of building the Subic Clark, unlike the ano, but can we consider that sa BICAM if they say that they can do it? Kasi yung sa Mindanao, sinabi na nilang diretsuhan eh. Yung sa Subic Clark, they said na totoong since 2016, 2017 pinag-uusapan. Nung una hiningi natin yon as a grant. And then ngayon pinackage nila. Ang problema sa package, ano eh, pag hindi na-approve yung buong package, hindi rin siya approve.
Yeah. Yung Subic Clark po, alam ko it's right now nasa parang feasibility study.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Alam ko.
But ang problema nga, sinama yung feasibility study sa isang malaking network. Sinama pati dun
sa North-South Commuter Rail.
But anyway, let me just put that on record and be a kind colleague to Senator Lapid, who's from Pampanga, Pampanga Tarlac, and see sa BICAM if we have some room to look at that project.
In principle, Minority Leader, I support transportation, logistics. Talagang naghahabol lang tayo. In fact, yung mga ginagawa ho natin ngayon is just playing catching up. So I support that.
No, and I will tell you why. It's because of our experience in Fort Bonifacio or BGC. Imagine, ang buong Fort Bonifacio is over 500 hectares, ang BGC is 100 hectares, but look at the development. Samantalang ang Clark is between 27,000 to 30-something thousand hectares, depende kung isasama mo yung mountainous areas, Puera pa Subic. So if you can really fix you have a beautiful international airport in Clark, you have a deep port in Subic. Subic is very not only symbolic but important in our fight sa West Philippine Sea, di ba? It's in the future, pwede talagang ayusin ng ating Navy yon. So if you really have a train
tama ho kayo.
for goods and people between Clark and Subic, even yung synergy na inimagine ng mga Amerikano when they built it in the late 1800s, early 1900s, can be fully utilized if we have that. No?
Tama.
But yun nga, natatakpan ng mga, how do I say it, no? Yung mga mas urgent. So I think these two railways, Mindanao and Subic Clark, are both as important as others like the subway. But sometimes kasi pag napapanood mo sa news, araw-araw na traffic, nagiging mas urgent yung iba. Pero actually, in terms of importance, magsing importante sila. In fact, I would argue it's even more important because if people move, ang ganda-ganda ng Bulacan, Tarlac, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija. So, but ang problema nga is the infrastructure, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. So, Mr. President, ako sinusuportahan ko itong railway system natin, and conceptually, Mr. President, we will support that in the budget. Ang i-consult ko na lang ang ating minority leader in DOTR on how much to put para malaman natin na magagastos ho nila. For Subic Clark Railway for 2026, meron ng right-of-way fund under BCDA of amounting to 70 million pesos.
Okay.
So meron na rin silang intention to start the right-of-way acquisition for both projects actually.
Yes.
For both projects.
So, the next question is unprogrammed funds. No, you were telling me yesterday, Mr. Chairman, and let me give you that opportunity, that although the majority wishes to keep it, or the palace wishes to keep it, because in my research, before 2022, walang unprogrammed, walang ganun release, no? And you confirmed to me that in the past 3 years, may unprogrammed pero lump sum.
Yung sagip portion. Meron doon unprogrammed sagip. At itong sagip portion is lump sum. No?
And not to use this as an opportunity to defend my colleague, Senator Joel, but you know, it's a little bit crazy that you have that fund that it's actually the executive that can release, but a district engineer is claiming that he can have it released for a senator without the senator knowing it. So I leave that to those investigating, but I'm just stating for the record na nakakabuang isipin na pwedeng ganon. So my first option is to ask na tanggalin to. But if we keep it, the chairman was telling me he has some reforms and some special provisions to make sure that it will not be abused and it will not. Because I don't want. Let me make it clear. I don't want it to be a black hole.
No. Tama ho kayo dyan.
Can you imagine if it's a black hole, then pag may na-release, anyone can say, si Governor ganito yung nagpa-release. Si Senator ganito nagpa-release. Si ganito pag-release. Wala kang kalaban-laban in this environment and in this in the present environment. No? Yes, go ahead, Majority Leader. I will always yield to you.
But just to clarify, I just want to clarify, Mr. President, the query of the good Senator, the Minority Floor Leader. Ang usapan nga natin ay dapat wala ng unprogrammed funds. Kung meron pang naiwan unprogrammed funds, Mr. President, may we request the chairperson to tell us what the unprogrammed funds is going to be used for? Like specifically? Kasi dyan po nagkaroon ng problema dito sa investigations na ito, yung scandals. I think the idea was dapat wala ng unprogrammed funds. But if the good sponsor can tell us what the unprogrammed funds are for, to be clear to all of us.
Yeah. Yes. Then after that, Mr. Chairman, maybe I will yield, but I have some proposals. But if any of our colleagues have proposals specifically on the unprogrammed fund, I will yield, Mr. President. Kasi kung ma-solve natin to, major to for transparency.
I'll be more than happy, Mr. President, to share with the body yung reforms na ginawa natin sa program. So dati ang program, meron doong 11 line items. Ang para sa akin, pinaka-controversial na line item doon, yung item called Sagip, na in 2024, 225 billion pesos, in 2025, 160 billion pesos. Ito yung lump sum, Minority Leader. So for 2026, tinanggal na natin to. From 11 items, reduce natin to 7, of which 3 are considered cash, the 4 non-cash. So the 3 considered cash are yung foreign assisted projects, yung GOP counterpart, at yung AFP modernization program. So breakdown. Yung 4 na items are non-cash. They just need book entries para ma-record sa libro ng mga agencies. No, for example, for 2026, ang foreign assisted is about 97 billion pesos. Ito yung lahat ng mga loans na lalabas for 2026. Yung GOP counterpart of those loans is about 35 billion pesos. Tapos yung AFP modernization 30 billion pesos.
Yeah. So
wala na po yung Sagip for 2026.
If the good chairman
with the indulgence of our Minority Leader, may I be allowed to intervene, Mr. President, distinguished colleague? Distinguished colleague, you were saying yung Sagip it's just because that's just one component that I'm looking at.
Yes.
When you talk about the unprogrammed fund,
yes.
When you talk about the entire DPWH fund, but the DPWH fund is such a big component po Iba po. No?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, in the recent years, may DOTR, DSWD, and DepEd would receive the largest share.
Correct.
And mostly for capital outlay and infrastructure projects. Is that correct, Your Honor?
Tama.
Yeah, Your Honor, ngayon ho, 2025, and as mentioned already by our Minority Leader, this representation is very much interested in looking at this item in the budget, and I have been lobbying with our fellow senators here to look into this because this is very dangerous, Mr. President, as you're all aware of what happened to this representation. Correct. You look at 2023, for instance, Mr. President, the 2023 allocation for unprogrammed is 807 billion. In 2024, the allocation for unprogrammed is 731 billion. Would that be a correct statement, Mr. President?
Tama po.
Mr. President, now you look at the released funds. Released funds for 2023 is 332 billion pesos. Released funds in 2024 is 531 billion pesos under unprogrammed funds, Mr. President. this did not pass through the House or the Senate. Doon po sa 2023, flood control, 60 billion po yung nakalagay doon. Flood control lang. 2024, 155 billion. Unprogrammed. Release po ito, Mr. President. I'm not talking about allocation. Again, 244 billion release under DPWH, 155 billion flood control. Ang total release is 531 billion. Mr. President, what measures or safeguards are we looking at now? Because if this is the case, Mr. President, and we feel that if this particular program of the government is important, then we should not put it under a program, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, the safeguard is to remove it completely. So in 2026, we removed it completely, Mr. President.
In 2026?
Yes.
Because in the committee report that we're just talking about, there is a unprogrammed appropriations for 174 billion, Mr. President.
That's why the component of those unprogrammed is foreign assisted projects of 97 billion pesos, GOP counterpart of those foreign assisted projects of 35 billion pesos, and the AFP modernization program of 30 billion pesos.
That is the that is satisfying, Mr. President,
Yes,
to hear
Mr. President.
from our chairman, and that is why we need this.
Correct.
We need this data, Mr. President. We cannot just rely on summaries, Mr. President, because if that is the case, I will definitely not support the unprogrammed item here in the budget, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, that's why during the Blue Ribbon hearing, we lumabas po doon kung paano po naabuso yung unprogrammed, and His Honor knows about the abuses that were made during the past. Kaya po tinanggal na po yung mga ibang components, especially po yung sagip. So, yun po yung tinanggal dahil yung sagip parang ginawa ng parang catch-all fund for all of the different expenses of government. Nandun na infrastructure, nandun na rin po yung kagaya na sinabi niyo, yung DSWD, meron pa nga doon ICT, so naging catch-all na siya. But definitely nagastos po yan. Malaki doon na portion nagastos for infrastructure, especially flood control, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And that's really why I am allergic, Mr. President, to unprogrammed funds. Because any Tom, Dick, or Harry can actually pinpoint anyone, a senator, for instance, that you would know after 2 years that you are part of the unprogrammed funds. Mr. President, just to put on record, Mr. President, ang unprogrammed funds, doon po sa mga pinapasa nating GAA, meron po siyang provision. Hindi ho ba na hindi ito kayang i-access ng isang tao lamang, gagawa ng proyekto, at kagaya po nung sinabi doon sa Blue Ribbon Committee, naparelease po niya, Mr. President. Is that correct, Mr. President?
Tama po, doon sa mga previous. We also...
Do we have it still in?
No, we don't have that anymore.
In this particular
wala na po kasi limited na ho yung use ng unprogrammed to foreign assisted projects and revised AFP modernization.
But we have a provision for the release of these funds, Mr. President, that indeed we put in. We usually put in our GAA that if there are excess revenue collection, new revenue collection, will that be part of this? 2026
yes, Mr. President, because that will be used to fund the foreign assisted projects and also the modernization program.
Yes, and I agree, Mr. President. And just to put again on record, nandyan po, Mr. President, excess revenue collection, new revenue collection, or those arising from new tax or non-tax sources, at yung approved loans for foreign assisted projects. That's correct. So again, Mr. President, it strengthened the idea on how we can access unprogrammed funds na hindi po ito maabuso at hindi po pwedeng i-claim ng kahit sino o isang individual na tao.
Actually, Mr. President, His Honor's experience led to these representations, really reforming the unprogrammed. Talaga hong naabuso yan in the past. If my memory serves me correctly, yung 2024 ang flood control lumabas mga around 25 billion.
It's actually 155 billion, Your Honor. The
tapos
flood control.
2020 from the program. This is
Yes, this is just for the program, Mr.
in
President.
2025, if my memory serves me correctly, mga 85 billion yun eh. So talagang nagamit ho for flood control. Kaya tinanggal na ho natin yan based on your experience.
And this cannot be released by anyone, Mr. President. It
Ito-
has to be passed through the Department of Finance, the Department of Budget and
Actually,
Management.
DBM lang ho ang nagre-release, Mr. President. So certified by the BTR, and then after certification by the BTR, ibibigay na po sa ahensya, implementing agency, at yung implementing agency magre-request na sa DBM.
In short, walang kinalaman ng legislator, Mr. President.
Wala ho talaga.
Thank you,
Wala ho
Mr.
talaga.
President. Thank you, distinguished minority leader, for this short intervention.
So let's talk about options here, Mr. President, with your permission. So one option is tanggalin lahat ng unprogrammed, and pag nagkapera ang gobyerno, will pass a supplemental budget. That's inconvenient for the executive, but that's convenient. But it's more transparent for everyone. Okay. The other one is that the Department of Finance or the DBCC simply say that magkano ba talaga dyan ang plano nila i-raise? Kasi am I wrong, Mr. President, that they can borrow money for this?
Yes, Mr. President, loan, the foreign assisted project.
So that's where the misunderstanding comes. Yung sagip at yung lump sum, klaro yung intention doon. If you think of regularity, the intention of lump sums kasi is flexibility during the year. So, pag hindi ko nilagyan ng mali siya, it's for flexibility. Nilagyan mo ng mali siya, yun nga, kasi nga, parang pork barrel, para pag may gusto kang i-release. Okay. Having said that, if the DBCC says we will fund it, hindi na siya unprogrammed. So ang point ko, Mr. President, is that let me ask another question. During the time of President Fidel V. Ramos, nung nagkaroon ng konting crunch because of the Asian crisis, di ba? Di ba siya, mandatory 10% ata savings sa lahat ng agencies,
I
no?
think we called it austerity measures.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, meaning, for example, no, if 10% ng 6.7 billion is trillion is 600 billion, which is much bigger than the unprogrammed. So, meaning the DBM or the Office of the President can always say, oy, lahat ng agencies, don't spend 3 to 5% of your budget, lalabas tong lahat. So, isn't it just better practice that when I say tanggalin ng unprogrammed, dalawang tanggalin, meaning minus 170 billion to 170 ngayon sa budget, or let's simply not call it unprogrammed fund. Kasi ang DBM naman magde-decide kung anong una nilang popondohan. So parang hindi ko mag-get yung point ngayon without yung kasing lump sum, nakukuha ko yung point eh. So let's say lump sum infrastructure. Popondohan muna nila lahat ng na-approve sa program. Kasi tingin nila, mas importante yon. Ngayon, pag sumobra pera, saka namin popondohan to. Pero katulad ng AFP modernization, are we saying it's second priority? I don't think any one of us is saying that, no?
No. Actually, in the committee report, Mr. President, or in this proposed version, itong second reading version natin, the AFP modernization, tinasan ho natin by about 20 billion. But ang ask ng agency is about 90 billion because mayowa yung kanilang mga expenses. So, since limited po yung fiscal space, linagay na lang natin sa unprogrammed yung 30 billion. But dahil wala nang sagip, so mapopondohan na ngayon itong modernization.
Let me phrase it another way. Since 2022, how much of the unprogrammed fund have been funded? Senator Joel, you said kanina, no, na ang pinakamaliit, magkano? 100 plus billion? 3 years lang naman 23, 24, 25.
On the average po, ang mga release nito about 200 million a year. Pero like for example, mga ganun po.
And this
On
year,
average.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, magkano ang propose natin na unprogram sa Senate version?
For 2026,
Yes.
it's about 174.
Oh, so kung sure din naman na marirelease 200 billion every year, wag na natin tawagin unprogram. Total, ano naman ang DBM naman magde-decide kung, so, halimbawa, sabihin natin, whether it's 90 billion or 120 billion yung AFP, hindi ba yung it's between the AFP na at saka DBM kung anong unang popondohan?
Yeah. May mga years rin po na mababa rin. Like for example po in 2020, 23 billion, 2021 54 billion, 2022 67 billion. So may mga years rin na mababa siya.
Yeah. I'll not belabor the point because I want to vote yes for this budget. But that's one of the constraints in voting for yes na yung unprogram kasi parang DAP din basta't nag-introduce tayo ng bagong term, hazy yung rules even with a
Special provision.
Remember, this is an appropriation bill, so the president can veto line by line, no? And just like yung DAP, by the time the Supreme Court rules on it, it's for future guidance na lang di ba? So, if someone brings a case about the unprogrammed, of course, the government will defend it. Pero if we're going towards transparency, so babalik ako, di ba, na kung nag-agree tayo na dapat mag-decentralize, nag-agree tayo hindi panay Metro Manila, nag-agree tayo panay dapat train over highways and cars, the budget should reflect that But it's not reflecting that, no? So I leave the unprogrammed. Do you want to state for the record?
Well, Mr. President, that's why I share the same feeling, Mr. President, with the minority leader and with the Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Joel. Kaya nung during the Blue Ribbon hearing, lumabas nga doon na itong sagip, especially the sagip line item, nagagamit to sa mga flood control at other infrastructure project. At iba-iba pang mga projects, tinanggal na natin at linagay na sa program. Ang iniwan nilang foreign assisted project dahil yung mga foreign assisted projects paglabas na ng 2026 dito lang magkakaroon ng pondo, no? So that's why traditionally even in the past linalagay po yung foreign assisted project po talaga sa program because lumalabas siya during the year.
But the problem, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, is I'm not an accountant by profession. I'm not a numbers person, no? But I have been in this chamber and in the House of Representatives long enough to know that there are systems. For example, augmentation, diba? The pag infrastructure program, you're allowed to augment 25 ba or 25 and 25 ulit. Ano ba yung present rule ngayon?
Augmentation. Ceiling.
So, we don't have to say the exact amount, but I'll give you an example, no?
Yeah.
So, kung may unprogrammed tayo 170 billion, magkasobrang pera, and then meron, let's say, flood control na 1 billion, without anyone knowing it, of course, it's in the reports, pero napakaraming report ngayon, ang hirap bantayan lahat. Pwede ka maglagay ng 250 million na may alam lang yung agency at saka DBM. Diba? So that's what I meant, that part of transparency is simplifying our process. Naintindihan ko naman yung intent din ng augmentation Kasi kung halimbawa whatever reason, 'di ba, nagkabagyo doon, nasira yung port. So ngayon may double handling or whatever, yung materials tumaas. So 5% na lang tapos na yung project, hihintay mo pa ba yung next budget cycle bago mo tapusin? So hindi masama per se yung augmentation. But I'm saying if you have a combination of loans that we will find out. Remember my point about the loans, no? When we borrow money, Congress doesn't know until the year after or until we start paying for it. So we're talking about a 6.7 trillion budget, di ba? Now, But in reality, I don't know how much we're borrowing next year. In reality, it could be 20 billion, it could be 300 billion, it could be 500 billion. So in reality, the interplay of all of these funds juggling from one to ang hirap pantayan.
Yes, tama ho kayo.
And let me just put this on the record because I feel strongly about this. Nung araw kasi may referee. Halimbawa, investigative journalism, o kaya yung sa media, iimbitahin yung expert. Ngayon, it's more of doubling down on what you assert, whether tama at hindi. And maraming influencers are disguised as political analyst or nasa media. Hindi ko nilalahat ha. Siyempre yung ating main traditional radio, whether it's Bombo, RMN, DZRH, di ba? Our main stations, GMA7, etc. I'm not talking about per se our traditional media. I'm talking about yung atmosphere natin ngayon, di ba? So ang daling baliin ang truth at ang daling tanggalin yung transparency kung complicated yung systems natin. Di ba? So if there's only one way na lalabas yung pondo, program, that's pero may program, tapos merong augmentation, tapos meron din basta sa executive department, di ba? The Constitution allows the president to move around some funds.
Yeah,
around
savings.
Yes, arouse and savings, moving target din yung definition. Kasi the DBM can actually say, hindi na maganda tong project na to, walag ng tuloy, magiging savings na iyon, di ba?